Okay, welcome everyone. I am just going to put this in speaker because a lot of people do not have it, although I'm not the main speaker on there. Do you guys see me or do you see Vicky's? Do you see me? You see me? Okay. I see Vicky's screen, so we'll just roll with it. Okay, so what we're going to talk about today is nutrition. I have some things that I want to share with you guys, and then we can just open it up. If you have any questions at any point in time, you can put them in the chat, and then I will go through and check them. So I'm going to start this off by saying that I started to feel a little this morning. And so that tells me that next week is probably Shark Week. So I was talking to Liz today, and I am going to do the carrot cake muffins for next week. So that is going to be part of my meal plan, and I'm going to have carrot cake muffins available. So when I want that treat, that sweet treat, I can have a carrot cake muffin on plan. It's one yellow, it's one carb if I'm following the 2B. And it's allowing yourself to have some of that balance. So when you are in a time where you're experiencing more cravings, also think about when you have cravings, think about the time of day it is. Like, when is it for you? When do your cravings hit? Is it mid-afternoon or evening? I feel like that's the most popular time for people, either between lunch and dinner, where you have that dip in energy. So you usually want carbs or sugar. That's when I have my mocktail, and usually a snack. So if I don't feel like I need a full meal or anything, I will have one of our beach bars. I love them. I always have them in my bag for if I'm out and about. And if I'm going somewhere, it doesn't matter if I'm just planning on running like 1 or 2 errands. I'm packing snacks because now I have become so accustomed to eating every couple hours that if I'm out, and let's be real, errands with kids, never. They take like twice as long, 2 or 3 times as long. So one errand is now like 2 hours somehow. And that puts me at my mark where, okay, we have like 27 minutes before Melissa gets hangry, irritable. And then after that, I start crashing. Like, I can feel myself start to crash. So that's when that beach bar is the game changer. Having a beach bar in there or other things so I like to keep fruit is also nice, especially if you feel like that dip, because it is natural sugar. So like those little clementines are nice because you can throw them in your bag and they don't get damaged. Like apples can get bruised and beaten. Bananas, forget it. Don't even try. And so a lot of fruit can get like beaten up in your bag, but you can throw some clementines in there and you can peel them anywhere. So I do, especially in like the spring and summer when I feel like I tend to eat more fruit when it's nicer out. I don't know why. I just do. I know it's more in season, but that's also just a thing. So I like to have those. My kids like the beach bars. And I'll tell you, since beach bar, it's a healthy snack bar. And it has 150 calories, but it has 10 grams of protein. So it has 1 gram of protein for every 15 calories, which is a really good ratio. It also has fiber. So it is not a full meal. It's not a meal bar, but it is a snack bar that I know is not full of a bunch of crap. So even if my kids want something, well, now I don't have to buy them the candy bar. I haven't even bought a candy bar in a long time. I thought I was saying that wrong. Candy bar. That's right, right? So I don't have to buy them the candy bar or the peanut M&Ms that I also love and don't want to say no to. But if I have that option, that's also a sweet chocolate treat. Like, my kids love them. So we do We like those. And then also for after dinner, so this is what I'm about to pour into my drink. And I think this is going to be, I think our giveaway for tonight, I'm gonna, how many people do we have on? So I'm just gonna send everybody on this call samples of Bevy. Since they are a small prize, I can send them out in the mail, and we only have a handful of people on this call. You're all getting a sample of Bevy. So Bevy is not a diuretic. It is not a weight loss drink. It has good stuff in it. It has fiber. It has good ingredients in it to help you feel fuller and have less cravings. This alone is not going to make you lose weight. It is not a weight loss drink. And unlike a lot of those, unlike a lot of those packets that they do have out there, is not a diuretic. It is not, oh shit, there was something else that is not good for you. It is not those things. So I like the pomegranate berry, but we also have lemon. So I'm going to send one sample of each to you guys. It says in 8 ounces of water. I put mine in a full shaker and then I drink it. It's also nice. So this has become my after dinner treat because, and I'm just gonna be real honest with you guys, you know, I medicate with cannabis. So when I medicate after 5, 6 p.m., it can give me the munchies. And one evening of munchies, whether it's munchies or binge eating, or you just went face first in the Oreos, like whatever it is you can't say no to, right? One evening of that can undo your whole week. And so it's not about being skinny. I need you to get that out of your head, because you cannot punish yourself and reward yourself with food. We need to break that cycle. Like that is the cycle that we need to break. I need you to start thinking about it as, are you treating your body like a temple? And maybe that sounds cheesy, but seriously, we want our bodies to do all of these amazing things, right? Are you treating it that way? So if there are things that you just cannot say no to, don't have them in the house. I think I said this last time, the gluten-free Oreos, Mark showed them to me in Giant Eagle. And he's like, do you want them? Because I was pretty excited about this being a thing. And I was like, no, because I will eat the whole bag. If I could try one, maybe. But even, let's be honest, even if I'm somewhere where I try one, I'm like, damn, it's good. And it's not that you can't have the cookie. It's, can you have a cookie and walk away? Because if you can have a cookie and walk away, that's not your vice, then that can be your balance. But if one cookie turns into a sleeve or a whole container, and then the next day you're feeling guilty or any of those things, that's when that vicious cycle comes in, where we start putting ourselves down for the food that we ate, and then we tell ourselves that we can't have it because it's bad. And even using words like this, it sends the wrong message to our children. I want to focus more on, this food is good for our bodies. This food does not serve us. Like, this food doesn't have the nutrients and the vitamins that is going to give us good energy and make us strong. So also, like, something that my sister is struggling with is that her husband, and she's been working on it with him. Her husband loves to, he is like, gift giving is his love language, right? It definitely seems like that. So he is always coming home from the gas station with treats for Adley. And his treats are always like sugary drinks or candy or sugar. And, you know, April said to him, like, babe, stickers. She would be just as happy with stickers or pens or chapstick. But when you're constantly rewarding her with food and sugar, that is sending a message to her that that's how we reward ourselves. And I don't know about you guys, but I've been trying to break that cycle for a long time. That's not the way that I reward myself for anything. If anything, that is how I disrespect my body. And it's just what level of disrespect, like how far do you push it, right? And not only that, but I just don't want my girls to use food as something that they take away to look a certain way, or that they reward themselves with for whatever. I want them to understand that there are so many other ways to reward yourself. But this is fuel. And yes, we can still have fuel that tastes delicious. We can still have good food that tastes good. And so even having these conversations with your kids, especially littles, when they don't want to eat their food, can be helpful. Talking to them about what food gives them good energy. And if you, as a mom, are telling your kids, well, if we eat these foods, mom has more energy to keep up with you, to do things like play outside. You will have better energy to run faster at the playground. You will have big muscles, so you grow up big and strong, so you could do the things, right? And you're all working out at home, which is awesome. So your kids are seeing that too. Whether they're right there or not, they know what's happening, right? These are the things that I'm trying to work on, especially with picky eaters. I'm trying to even, Elsie, if Elsie wants her ramen noodles, she's obsessed with them. She always has been. Literally zero nutritional value. First thing when you're pregnant, in the booklet, first thing they tell you not to eat, because it's just sodium and crap. Could not be a worse choice. She knows that if she has that soup, she has to have her shake and she has to pick a vegetable. If she wants something that she knows is not going to fuel her body, is not healthy, is not good for her, then she has to have something that is, to balance it out, because it is about balance, right? So that was just a little bit of that. And then I will say that I followed the containers for probably 4 years. I followed the container system for 4 years. And then when Ultimate Portion Fix came out, that just blew my mind, because before that, we just had a list of foods, an equation, and containers. And that was it. You knew what foods were appropriate for each container and how many containers you were supposed to have a day. And of course, there were some recipes. We had the Fix 8 cookbooks. We didn't even have Fix 8 on the cooking show, back before this all started, right? Before Ultimate Portion Fix. So when Ultimate Portion Fix came out and it had all those 38 modules, all those videos, I had been doing this for 5 years and I was still wow, things I didn't know. And so if you haven't watched those videos, no matter what plan you're following, I highly recommend. But I will say that now I'm kind of a mixture of the two. There are things from To Be Mindset that I really love and have incorporated, but I kind of go off of, I still look at portions. I still am very aware of what the awareness is what matters, because it's something that I never thought about before. What is on my plate? What categories of food? What colors, containers am I eating? Is this a protein? Is this a carb? Is this a veggie? Do I have enough veggies? Is this a balanced meal? How many servings of carb have I had today? Veggies, protein, same thing. I was never aware of that stuff before. I never thought about it. Think about your typical lunch. All right, let's say somebody orders out a sandwich and fries. and they get veggies on their sandwich. And they're like, well, I'm having veggies, right? Yeah, they're also having probably 4 or 5 servings of carbs, one for each piece of bread. And let's be honest, those fries are 1 to 2 servings of yellows because they do not portion them out. So in that one lunch, one day, you're having 4 yellows. For most of us, that's our entire day, if not more. And that is not the only carbs they have that day. Breakfast is toast or cereal. And then they have more carbs at dinner. And then sometimes they snack after dinner and more carbs. But if they look at their meals, they look relatively healthy. And so it can be deceiving if you're not tracking, if you're not paying attention. And so if you are struggling with your nutrition, I really recommend tracking, whether you do it in the BOD app or you use the 2B tracker. There's also an Ultimate Portion Fix tracker that you can, if you don't have it, you can purchase it. The 2B tracker comes with most of the plans that include both nutrition plans. So you should have your 2B. You can alter it for your UPF. Just write in your container colors. It's fine. But I will say this. There is something that I want us all to do. I have 2 challenges for us this week. Am I doing on time? I'm good. I have 2 challenges for us this week. 1, no munching while you're making. So this means while you're cooking or while you're getting snacks or while you're meal prepping or while you're in the kitchen or while you're feeding your kids, you're not allowed to eat any of the food until you sit down with your plate with the food that you are prepared to eat and track. So anytime you go into that kitchen to make meals, you take your water. You drink your water while you eat or while you're making your food. So no munching while we're making. I want you guys to do that for 2 weeks and see how much you notice. See how many times you catch yourself going to take that bite that you weren't going to track or plan. Because it's just a little bit. It's just a little bit. But those little bits add up, right? Like my dad was always the plate cleaner when we were growing up. Like if we didn't finish our plates, slid them down to dad and he would finish the food. We are not garbage disposals. We are not trash cans. If you you save it for tomorrow or throw it away. You're not doing yourself any favors by eating it just because you didn't want to waste the money. So you're telling me you would rather put it in your body when you don't need it versus throwing it away because it's a money thing. So that's hard for me. So I put all food in containers. If my kids don't eat their food, I put it in a container and put it in the fridge. If it doesn't get eaten in a couple days, I throw it away. But the next thing, so that's one challenge. Do you think that that's going to be a struggle for you? Is that something that you, let me put it this way. You may not realize you struggle with this until you start paying attention. Okay. So we're going to do that for 2 weeks. No munching while we're making. And I'm probably going to do a live in the BOD group tomorrow, letting everyone else know that we're doing that. Second challenge, this is from the 2B mindset, and I want us all to do this again for the 2 weeks. And this can apply, it can fit in with the other challenge we're doing. So the bunnies on 2B is water first, veggies most. Use the scale and we track, right? So I want us to apply those bunnies. You can still stick with your containers if you're doing Ultimate Portion Fix. So for the water first, before you eat or drink anything. So if you're going to have an iced tea or coffee with creamer, anything that has calories. Before you put anything with calories in your body, you drink 16 ounces of water. You will eat less. You will feel more full. And it will help with that no munching while you're making. So while you're in the kitchen cooking your food, you can drink those 16 ounces of water, right? So that is from the 2B mindset. And I really want us to implement that. We should all be drinking a lot of water anyways, but I do notice that when I drink 16 ounces of water before I eat, I am more full and satisfied with the same amount of food that I would have eaten without the water. But like 10, 15 minutes later, I feel like I want seconds, or I feel like I want dessert. So try it. 16 ounces of water before you eat, before you consume any calories all day long. So that's breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, 16 ounces of water first. Okay. Veggies most, well, here's what I'm going to say. If you have 4 servings of veggies that you need a day, I want you to try to have veggies with every meal or snack. I don't want you to chunk your veggies together. I want you to include them with all of your meals. I want you to try spacing them out. Okay? I know this is a lot. So maybe you pick a couple of these. Maybe you just try to pay more attention, right? You try to, and that's the progress. Guys, we get more in tune and we pay more attention to this or to that. And that's how that awareness, it changes everything, because now you are in control, because you know what you should be doing, what you can do, and if you go off track, how to get back on. So try to space out your veggies. And then this is not normal for me, but these two have to go together. These two have to go together. I do not want you doing one without the other. That's the deal on this. If you are a weigh yourself every day kind of person, you need to be tracking your food. They go together as a way to learn how your body reacts to certain foods. Your body will have different weight loss and weight gain foods than mine. And that is one thing that I really like about the 2B mindset, is that you are evaluating your day every day, because you wake up same way, same time, same. So when I weigh myself, it's in the morning after I pee, either in like tank top and shorts or naked. Don't get on there like fully clothed one day, naked, like keep it consistent, whatever it is. All right. If you're in your nightgown after you pee every morning, cool. Don't weigh yourself at night. It's never accurate. My weight from the morning is always going to be 2 or 3 pounds lighter than my weight, even after a shake. It varies. So if you're weighing yourself at different times of the day, that's not accurate. So keep it accurate. Keep your weight at the same time every day. And if you are weighing yourself every day, so if you're tracking your food, you wake up, it was a weight loss day. You look at your food. Okay, this worked for me. This worked for me. Whatever this was a good weight loss day. And then you had a different dinner, or you had a different, you had something different the next day and you gained weight. Even if it's just a couple ounces, you can look at that day. Now, I also want you to factor in, is it that time of the month? Are you bloated for things? Because these things matter, right? Like next week is going to be Shark Week for me. So I know that I'm probably going to bloat. I know that my energy level is going to change in my workouts. I know that the weight is not necessarily going to reflect what is actually happening. So when Liz finished her phase 1 results, she said, the pictures in the inch, like it didn't really change. And then like in the same day, she told me that she had just started her cycle. And I said, measure again, reweigh again after your period, because it changes. So if it is on one of those times, take note of that. Mark that somewhere in your planner. Like track that as part of, okay, because you can even see it'll become a monthly thing. Do you bulk up every period? Right? And then do you go back down? Or so for some people, and with we have a lot of people, not a lot of people, but we have several people in here with like PCOS, GERD, IBS, things like that. Different foods can irritate your body. Different foods can affect you differently. So while spinach could help you lose weight and you'd be fine with it, your body may hate romaine. Like some people, squashes are not the best vegetable for them for weight loss. Some people, it's great. It's the best vegetable for them. I do also like that the to be mindset is, so they base, and autumn's this way too, actually, both plants really go this way. They put their carbs around their workout. Carbs are for energy, and we don't need energy at dinner. We're getting ready to go to bed. So in the to be mindset, it's veggies most. The dinner plated is 75% vegetables, 25% protein. And even for UPF, she doesn't want you to have any yellow containers after 6 o'clock because you don't need those carbohydrate, that energy. And here's the thing. If you're having carbs late at night, or you're having carbs and your body isn't able to use that energy up, that's when it processes it as sugar and stores it as fat. So it's not that you can't have carbs, but it's going to be better for you, your goals, and your body and your energy to have your carbs around your active periods. So if you are an afternoon workout person, you definitely need carbs in your lunch. Maybe you have an afternoon snack with carbs after your workout to regain that energy. So for me, my workouts in the morning, I mean, technically with 2B mindset, you don't really have any carbs after lunch. And when I went gluten-free, we did switch a lot of dinners to like more veggies. And I think I wake up feeling less bloated, less like fogged down, right? Like if I have veggies and a lean protein for dinner, even with the accessories, even with cheese or, you know, the decadent stuff, I still wake up feeling different the next day. Like how many of you can do in the chat or show of hands, have had a cheat night since you got started? Not a cheat meal, treat. I like treat better than cheat anyways, but a treat, well, that's kind of a cheat night. A cheat night where you just kind of like, you threw all caution to the wind. So maybe you had pizza and chips or pizza and ice cream or things like that. And if you haven't had that yet, you will. At some point, you're going to have the old stuff again. And then you're going to feel hungover the next day. You may have issues in the bathroom. You may have headaches. Your face may break out because once we remove that crap from our body, the crap that we were used to. So you didn't realize how crappy you felt because you felt that way all the time. And if you add that stuff back in now, it is noticeable. And it's not that it never did it to you before, but that was your norm. So you just didn't feel the effects of all of that because that was just your baseline. But now that you have Shakeology in your life, now that you're drinking all this water, you're doing all this exercise, you're fueling yourself with good food and good nutrients. When you put that crap back in, you're going to feel it. And when you do, this is not the time to guilt. This is not the time to say that you failed. None of that. This is the time to learn the lesson that you thought you wanted it and your body told you otherwise. So next time you have that internal conversation with yourself, do we really want this? Or is there a healthier alternative that I could make myself? or plan or purchase that maybe I won't feel like crap tomorrow. Fuck what the scale says based off of feeling. Because if we're always making our decisions based off of what the scale will say, you're not always going to choose the right thing, because you are living in that restrictive mindset, right? You need to free yourself from that. So we are focusing on tracking. We are focusing on water first, spacing out our vegetables, chunking our carbs around the beginning of our day, and no munching while we're making. Was that 4 things? Because I'm going to have to share this in the group and I don't want to forget. Let me write this down real quick. My brain hasn't really been with it this week. So, and then next week is book club. No munch. Okay, get a pen that works, Melissa. No munch. Water first. We're tracking our food and our weight and how our body is reacting to it. Tracking food and weight. And spacing out veggies. Okay, so that was 4 things. All right. Also, it's okay to kind of mix the plans. Like how I kind of merged to be with Ultimate Portion Fix. What really matters is that you're not just assuming that you're following a plan, because that's where we start to get more and more lax. So that's where the tracking comes in. I recommend, even if you're not an avid tracker, I recommend tracking at least 1 to 2 weeks every month to make sure that you're still staying on track. What the tracking does is it makes us get really honest. Like, oh, do I really want to write down these 5 M&Ms? Do I really want to write down that dino nugget that I ate off my kid's plate? Like that Starburst, that one Starburst that I took from the dish, like things like that. That's what really adds up. Those little things that are outside of the meal periods. So now let me write down everybody who is on this. We have Holly, you've tried the bevy, right? Have you tried both of them? I'll send you more.
No, I have a box of each. You're good.
Oh, you don't need any? Okay. So
no.
Ashley, Zoe, and then we had Courtney.
Vicky was having power and connectivity problems.
Well, she tried to hop on, so I'm going to send her some too. Okay, so if you guys can hop on, I'm going to stop the recording. Oh, before I do that, does anybody have any questions? I didn't see. Okay. And if you do,